No one gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck what you did. Nobody gives a fuck what you're gonna do. You give the biggest fuck in the world. So fuck it all.
Today, Sara McCarthy.
You are not as fucked as you think you are. Stop trying to get the promotion. Get your self-care sorted. Stop trying to get the bird back. Go and find you again. Stop trying to case people to help you. They're not going to help you. Not because they don't want to, but because they don't have the capacity to, and they're not admitting that they don't have the capacity to, so instead they'll project on you and say you can only help yourself. 99.9% of people in this world are fucked in some way, shape or form, but they are nowhere near as fucked as they think they are. You are not weak for needing repetition. You are not dramatic for wanting consistency, but you feel stuck because you lack strength, and you lack strength because you lack awareness. We're just kids. Most of adulthood is literally trying to feel safe. The child is the first philosopher. Before we learn strategy, we learn questions. Am I safe? Am I wanted? Those questions don't disappear. It just becomes did they text back? Why didn't I get promoted? The adult scenario changes, but the kid underneath, well, they're still asking the same things.
What emotions do you tend to avoid or dislike having the most?
Disappointment.
Have you disappointed yourself recently?
A little bit, yeah.
Today, I'm joined by Sara McCarthy, a coach known for cutting through... Sorry? You interrupted my intro. Come on, let me do my intro.
I had an itch.
Sorry.
I had to tell you I needed to itch first, because otherwise people might go weird.
Honestly, guys, you better be prepared, because today's going to be like nothing you've ever experienced. I'm already sweating and tired from laughing for the last 10 minutes. So stand by. We'll try again though, Sara, shall we? Yeah. See, that's my stern voice. to work on that, bro. Right. Today, I'm joined by Sara McCarthy, a coach known for cutting through noise and challenging people. You've really messed my flow up now. I'm just going to say, this is Sara. How are you doing today? You all right?
Good, Johnny. How about yourself?
Well, I was doing okay. You're making me sweat. And,
that's what she said.
I've heard stories that make me feel like I'm an accomplice. I've heard it all. So, I don't know what to do. How are you though, man? How's your day been?
I'm good. I'm really privileged to be here today, Johnny. Really looking forward to having a chat with you that's going to go all across social media forevermore.
Why does that feel like a threat?
No, you know what? It's really rare to meet someone in the same industry that's got totally the same agenda as you. Just literally, let's help people, let's have a good giggle, let's make some friends along the way. And I think we are friends now, Johnny.
I think so too. I think that
I'll
it's
tell
so
you
refreshing.
mate. You look good.
Let me try again. Wait. I think so too. What do you think? Is that better?
Yeah. Don't quit your day job though.
It's coaching bollocks. What do I do now? What do I do now?
Coaching bollocks. That's the problem.
Oh dear. So, I'll start where I always start. I think you are possibly one of the most intriguing people that I've seen in this space for a long time, mainly because you are quite possibly the very essence of authenticity.
Thanks, mate.
You are. No, but you are. And I think that there are a lot of people having real problems in the world. And some aspects of their industry have really been hijacked by some pretty crazy stuff, right? And
pretty crazy people.
Well, it might be that. Yeah, but it's so nice to see someone dealing with real problems in a real way and really sort of out in the real things that people want to do. Sometimes people want to do some crazy stuff and we have to be here for that.
Sometimes people need to know they're not the only person that's keyed a car.
Yes, exactly that.
And I'm not saying that's the right thing for people to do. Never ever should you key a car. Never ever should you key a car. But what I'm saying
I feel like I need to put subtitles for that bit. Yeah. Just to doubly reinforce it. Never ever do that.
But people need to know, no one wants to go to the coach that's a perfect person. Maybe you do, but that's the part of you that's striving to try and be perfect, isn't it? Whereas the people that go for me, they're coming to me because they're like, hey, I can tell you all the horrible shit I've done and you're not going to judge me. You're actually just going to help me fix it. And that's why I am how I am online, because I could sit there and be like, yes, I'm a absolutely perfect individual now. I've got a 9-figure bank account and a Maserati on the drive, and wouldn't you like to see my new Louis Vuitton bag? But that's not true.
But there could be a plot twist here. Maybe you're actually like that and this is an act. That would be amazing. What a plot twist that would be.
No, it's mad because, you know, I was at some stage in my life, I did try to do that. I swear to you, I did try to do that. I was like, I had blonde extensions all down to it. Not that I've got anything against them, right? And I would wander around my little Chanel bag, and and it lasted about 6 months because you can't keep character that long. So you know, when you go from being like a down and out little yobbo, then you try and be the complete opposite. And I talk about this a lot in my coaching. It's called the metamorphosis, right? Every time a version of you doesn't work, you completely kill it off. And then, because you're so obsessed with opposites, you try and go completely the opposite way. So I went from yobbo with a rolly sticking out of her hand and God knows what else to Chanel bag, perfect hair. Look at me trying to pronounce everything right. Do you know what I mean? And it was two separates. And then at some point, you've got to go, you know what? Just meet in the middle. Just get in the middle.
Yeah. No, as somebody that's had addictive behaviors in the past, man, I'm totally the extremes. Like, for example, look at this hat. Totally been watching Yellowstone recently.
I love that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just the way it is. It's being human and it's embracing it and finding out who you are by sometimes making mistakes.
Brain doesn't know that you're watching the Yellowstone. It thinks you're in it.
I am in it. I'm a cowboy. And don't you ever tell me I'm not.
I'm not in it. It's in me.
Exactly. You understand? Like, yeah, I am right now. Like, that's where I'm coming from, live and direct from a ranch, Johnny's Ranch. I need to work on the name.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. It does sound weird. I'm gonna move on quickly.
Given the current press in the news, that sounds odd, that Johnny.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get us back on track. Are you though? How did you become Sarah? See, I nearly called you Sarah. How much does that happen to you, and how much does it annoy you?
All the time. All the time.
I've got a friend called Sara and she hates it. It drives her mad.
Despise it. Makes me turn the podcast off.
Oh. How did you become Sara McCarthy?
So, I became Sara McCarthy when I stopped trying not to be Sara McCarthy. Bottom line, for years I was like an incredibly high functioning, self-aware, emotionally intelligent trap queen. Do you know what I mean? Like, to put it to, I'm being serious. You got to tell it to me, right? So. Genuinely, so becoming me was like less about building confidence, because I always had confidence, even if it was like delusional confidence. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything I've ever done, I've given like 100%. I've backed myself. Do you know what I mean? I will die on that hill. But I was totally betraying myself at the same time. And it was in learning that being chosen by others means absolutely fuck all if you're not choosing yourself, that I actually created the real version of me. So like internally, a lot of the time, even when I was doing the most conspicuous of things, I was negotiating my needs and always over explaining my boundaries and sort of like performing strength instead of just being this person that was actually quite strong. So I built my coaching born entirely from that that shift. I don't like teach empowerment from theory, if that makes sense. Like, there's no theory to it. This is like reality. Like, if someone made like an 8 Mile film on my life, it would be quite similar. Do you know what I mean? Apart from like, I can arguably spit better bars than Eminem and Eminem. But
I feel like you got to prove it.
Give me to the end of the podcast and I will give you the entire rendition of Love the Way You Lie, and I'll be both parts.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, finish your story.
Don't fucking test me, Johnny. Do you want to be Rihanna?
It won't be the first time.
But yeah, no, so I teach it from lived experience, you know, rebuilding self-trust after you've not only just ignored your intuition, but completely just killed yourself off. Do you know what I mean? And as I say, we as humans, we love extremes, don't we? So we're either the worst version of ourselves in our head, or we're in the Mile High Club, and there's no in between. And what I do is I bring people to the middle ground now, because I was born in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was technically born in a hospital, but I think I was properly reborn, shall we say, after going to hospital. To be completely honest. Yeah, I used to do a lot of conspicuous things. I talk about it a lot on my page, you know, a lot of recreational things that became not so recreational after a while. And you wake up one day in a hospital bed and go, oh, bloody hell. And then you have to revisit yourself. You have to look at all the paradigms, all the shifts, all the archetypes. And I got well into the spiritual side of it first. And Oh, that wasn't a bloody black, because I was well into it. I would sit every day and I would manifest and I would meditate and I would do all this stuff that I thought was helping me. But then I would go and swig a bottle of vodka, meet me mate, and then the next day wonder why my manifestation hadn't come true. And you're either at bottom of the pit manifesting, or you're at the top of the pit because your manifestations come true. But either way, you're removing your own agency, aren't you? It's never your responsibility. You're always leaving it to a higher agency. It's either everyone around you's fault that you feel like shit, right? Or it's the universe is doing that you've achieved everything. You never have your own agency. And as I say, I was born in the middle. When I realised everyone around me wasn't the fucking problem, they were all curated from my own insecurities, and I'd actually chosen every single one of them for a different reason and a different purpose, right? And the universe weren't doing fuck all for me. So
that is ownership right there, man.
You got to meet in the middle,
really
mate.
Is. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
That's ownership. And I think that's part of what people find difficult. I think sometimes things happen to people varying in intensity and they don't like it, so they make up a little lie in their head that they can accept and they sell it to everyone else, and then they collect lots of people that support it and will reflect it back to them. And if they don't do that, then they're kind of out or they're toxic. It's interesting to me, like when you start to change and you stop reflecting what it is you were doing before, that you become the narcissist. You know, you're becoming really toxic. You're becoming really narcissistic. You're always thinking about yourself because you're trying to improve yourself.
That's it. Well, that's it. It's the constant sort of chase of the higher version of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't even know where they live. Like, you don't even know where they are. It's a totally hypothetical, made-up version of you that you've decided is going to be you, but it doesn't even fucking align with what you're doing right now. So where are you going to meet her? Where are you going to meet him? Yeah. Because they're not on the same path as you, so you're not even going to cross paths, are you? You don't know who that person is, but yet you're basing every relationship you have and every choice you make on that cunt that you don't even know. And that's the truth, though, isn't it? Right, I would cut people off in my spiritual phase, right, because they did not have a higher vibration like me. What was that about?
Yeah.
What on earth were you doing that for? Like, I'd be like, you don't vibrate the same frequency as me. Sorry.
Do you actually say that to them?
Oh yeah. I should read you some of my old DMs from like 2015. You'd be like, that, what the fuck? So yeah, I'd be like, sorry, we just don't vibrate the same. We just don't align. What do you mean? Savage. Yeah, the only line I was doing was not an alignment. Trust me now. Like, I don't know what I was talking about. Absolute madness. But I was telling myself, like, I call it a happy lie, right? Or like a magical manifestation, you know? Telling myself a happy lie. I was like, look, and looking here now, right? I know the brain is totally wired to avoid pain, right? Not in any way, shape or form to seek accuracy. It does not seek accuracy. It's a pattern machine made up of loads of bollocks. There's a part of your brain, just for you know, people that are watching, called the amygdala, which scans for threat all the time, right? So the minute something feels like a rejection, right, it will activate a lot of stress chemistry. And that's why we decide that we are on a higher power path, because it's easier than admitting we are fucked right now, right? Because if you can convince yourself that all of this is part of a higher plan, right, and you are destined, and every bit of drama is just a lesson sent from the universe, you don't have to admit you're fucked right now, right? You've put yourself in this mess. You've got all these people around you that are actually quite representative of different versions of you that are occurring all in the same place, right? That mate that keeps using you, well, you need to be needed, mate. That's why you're giving them that opportunity, right? That mate that keeps being horrible to you, well, you're horrible to yourself, mate. So that person is just an external version of you. It's mad, isn't it, when you look at it? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting way to put it. And that's what I like about you, man, is that you cut through all of the wordplay that seems to be in the industry at the moment. You tell it how it is. Very understandable. Like,
that's saying it. Your brain hates ambiguity. So give it a lie that it likes and it'll cling on to it.
Yeah, exactly that. It's like delusion. And really, it's coming from a place of self-soothing, eh? It's like that whole self-sabotage thing. It's like, I often call my clients out on it. And I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? Actually, it's your only known way of soothing yourself, making you feel better by going back to what's familiar.
Exactly.
Which offers you comfort. It's not always good for you. Like, I used to do it with alcohol for a very long time.
100%.
I used to go back to it, even though it was destroying me. I learned in the end, but it took a while.
Yeah, well, it does. A long time. You know, we love the familiar fuck up. You know, the familiar fuck up. We know it. We chemically know it. You know, we psychologically know it. We know it. It's familiar. It might be horrible. It might even give us chlamydia, but we know it. So we keep going back and back and back.
I have a question. No, I'm joking. I don't have a question. I don't want to know the answer. I don't.
Yeah, no, it's one of them, innit? Emotional pain, it activates the same pain as physical pain circuits, So you've got this anterior insula, right? Little part of your little pain matrix, right? And it processes heartbreak like an injury. Right? Like an injury. And, if someone said to you, I'm going to give you this magic pill right now, right? And it's going to take that away. You'd go, yes, please, magic pill, right? And sometimes the worst person for you, the worst cycle is that magic pill because it's the only one your brain knows will regulate it. You can only go off the information you've got. Right? And if all the information your brain's got is neck this bottle of vodka, take this stripe, go and sit on that person that's questionable, and that's going to fix it. That's all your brain knows. It's about retraining your brain to have a different sort of mentality to therefore create a different outcome. You can't do it straight away because it's impossible. Your brain doesn't bloody know it. It doesn't.
And part of that process, I think, is failure, which we're scared of, right? It becomes part of the problem too. When I went sober, right, people think, on November 29th, 2020, I just decided I was going to become sober and that was the end of the story. Yeah. There was about 2 years of breaking promises to myself, making mistakes, humiliating myself, shame, staying in bed, hungover, all of these trips and falls all of the time. And if people go, well, how did you crack it? I didn't quit. I took a couple of days off here and there and I laid in bed feeling really sorry for myself, but I got back up and I tried again. Yeah, and I just tried again and I tried again. It's like I say, it's like a baby, right? Baby doesn't see all these tall people walking and go, I want to try that. Get up, fall down and go, obviously not a walker.
That's it.
They don't do that. So that's similar to what you're saying, but you said
I think you're bang on, Johnny. I think the one thing that stops a lot of people is the fear of exposure. And I coined this. So my coaching course is literally called the anti-shame shift. Right?
Nice.
Love 3 guesses as to fucking why. But yeah, and it comes down to the fear of exposure, man. Like, people think that the fear of exposure is a fear of visibility, but it's not, right? It's the fear of being seen without control over the perception, right? If you say to people, I'm clean now, I'm clean, right? You do not give a fuck about anything other than those people retaining an image of you that is clean. You want to wipe the image of you that wasn't. So instead of leaning into it and thinking, what did I learn from that version of me? How did that person try and save me? How is that person my boy? Right? You kill it off. You kill them off. And now you've got a load of corpses following you around and you've got to keep fighting them off. And that is why your shadow keeps coming back forward. Because you never lean into it. You just try and avoid it. But as soon as the light is shone on it, best believe it's there.
I reckon that happens a lot. Like when you're in a friendship circle and somebody wants to lose weight and then everyone starts taking a piss out of them because no one wants to look at that for themselves or whatever. So then they shame until the person falls back in line again. And what it comes down to is that they probably didn't even really care about their weight anyway, because the same people that were shaming them when they were losing weight were the same people making them feel like crap when they felt they were overweight. It's just the wrong people.
It's just literally the wrong people. Humans don't want to be seen. We want to be seen and remain intact. And we're constantly trying to validate our social construct to both ourselves and to society, whatever image you take, right? So you could be the strong one, you could be the funny one, you could be the messed up one, which we have both been at some point, right? We could be the high value one, the rich one.
Sorry, I'd like to reserve the fact that I might be the messed up one again at some point. I'm not going to say I'm all fixed. That would be a mistake.
No, not at all. But whatever sort of image, archetype, whatever you want to call yourself, right? Whatever you've taken on, right? Any type of exposure risks revealing the opposite. Okay. And that's always right. And when you are the messed up one, for example, if you've been the messed up one, right? Any sort of exposure risks people seeing how capable you are, which then shames how messed up you are. Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now, if you're the one that's completely on the ball, any sort of exposure risks people seeing that you're not always on the ball. Right? We're always risking exposure if we're sitting in any archetype or any self-illusion, any self-image too deeply, okay? And what we do is we give ourselves little micro doses of like ego death, Right? We do it to ourselves all the time. Instead of going, yeah, that was really good, that. We're so scared of being a narcissist that we'll go, that was really good, that, but you could have done better.
Yeah,
Because we're terrified of being a narcissist these days. It's a buzzword that's literally thrown around everywhere. I get called a narcissist about 4 times a day in my inbox, and I don't know why, but maybe I am.
I'm sorry, I'll stop doing it.
Johnny and Johnny's Greek fake accounts. Big fat no. Yeah, no, it's hard, isn't it? It is hard. Being a human's hard. You know, we've got this ancient fear of social exile, right? And it's like, whoa, where's that coming from? Like, I've not even got any mates. Why am I fearing this? You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, we all have this like inbuilt fear of social exile. Like even with social media's a bad one for it now, isn't it?
Well, I was going to say, all of this is pointing at it, isn't it? This conversation.
Yeah.
You can be anyone you want. You can walk around pretending you've got designer handbags and stuff if you wanted to when you don't, you know, you can do
it. I tell everyone they're blag.
Tell everyone what?
I tell everyone they're blag.
Yeah.
Like if I run around with a Chanel bag, and I mean some of them are real, but you can't even tell the difference anyway. And then
my wife does that. She'll get like a really good fake or something, and then she'll just tell people. I'm like, what was the point?
You've got to help the girlies out. If they go, where's your bag for? The H gate, babe. Here's the link. Yeah. Like you've got to help the girlies out. Whereas if you go, all right, it's from Chanel, you're basically implying you could never afford this, you bitch.
Yeah, truth. Yeah, because my wife, she always looks lovely, right? And whenever we go to events, there's always people with like loads of really like posh clothes on, and she's like got hers from like Asda or something.
I love it.
I don't know if she's gonna love it or not. Like I said this, but she always looks so lovely and chic, and people always go, really? And it's just like, yeah, because that's how she is. Like she can't pretend, and that's what I love most about her.
That's it, isn't it?
She can't pretend. Like she's my like, if I really want to know the truth, I'll go and see her. If I want to live in my delusion, I'll go and speak to my brother.
Is it funny though how when you get to a certain like level of self-awareness, you know which people to go to for which? Yeah, I have.
How do I curate this feedback?
My mate Courtney, right? She won't mind me saying this. She is my delusional friend, right? If I want her to just blindly validate anything I want to do, I go to Courtney. And I'll be like, Courtney, even if I said to her, I have just hit a load of sheep in the car, right? They're all dead. They're in the boot. She'd be like, well, you know what? Everything happens for a reason, babe, doesn't it? And at least now you've got lamb, right? That's the kind of she's amazing, right? Whereas my mate Jess,
I need Courtney in my life. I need her in my life.
She's amazing, but Jess, fuck going to Jess, fuck her sideways. Because if I go to her with something, now my mate Jess is amazing, Craft of Christ on Instagram if anyone wants to follow it, right? But fuck me, she will not tell me. Like, she'd be like, right, I just think that was wrong, and here are 9 reasons why I think that was wrong, and I'll be like that. Oh, I'm gonna just ring Courtney, like, but she will put me right in my place, and I'll be like, Jess, I've done this today. Don't feel good about it. She's like, well, are you surprised that you don't feel good about it because it wasn't a good thing to do, was it?
Savage.
And I'll be like, well, now we are going to fall out for 15 minutes. I'm ringing Courtney for a little back tickle and I'm coming back. But you've got to have those mates, haven't you? That some of them, you know what you're getting. To saying that, I mean, I'm saying Courtney would back me blindly. If I had done something very bad, she would be like, right, okay, that's bad. But 9 times out of 10, she's my go-to.
Sometimes you just want to know the truth, right? You just want to know the truth, because sometimes you get so caught up in all of your collection of little half-truths and lies and delusions that you just need someone to go, I'm so confused, like, tell me what's going on. And they're like, you're being a twat. And it's like, got it.
But I'm that mate. That's the problem. So like,
oh, okay, yeah, I fully get that. Like,
everyone comes to me and they're like, "Is this wrong?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not right, isn't it?"
That's quite diplomatic, actually.
Yeah. There's a fine line, isn't there? And you're over it. Well, you've got to say it in a nice way. You can't go shaming people. I mean, when they come in and they're like, Sara, that, for example, one of my really close guy mates. Okay, and a lot of my mates are lads from back in the day, not because I'm an absolute dick fest, but because they were the people easiest to do all the moderately illegal things with that we were doing when we were younger. So, unfortunately, the girls were just back at home. You know, it was the boys that were out on the BMXs. So anyway, one of my really oldest friends, he's a muppet, and he's come out of a very long-term relationship. I won't name him, and I hope his missus doesn't watch this, but never mind. And he's come out of a really long-term relationship, got into another one very quickly, right? And he keeps doing this thing, and I keep telling him it's because your brain doesn't know the difference between the relationships, okay? It doesn't have a clue. It just knows the chemical reaction. So it thinks you're still in the last one. That's why you keep treating her like this. Put her down, heal, come back, pick her up if she's still there, right? And he won't do it. So His ex-girlfriend used to moan at him every Thursday when she finished work if he didn't have food ready. This new girlfriend works night shifts on a Thursday, and he keeps making her food every Thursday before a night shift, even though she keeps telling him, she's a nurse, she keeps telling him, I don't want to eat before work, makes me sick on shift, don't want to. If she doesn't eat it, he feels rejected because of the previous thing. If she does eat it, they have an argument because she feels ill on shift. And I keep saying to and every time he comes to me with that, I'm like, she's literally telling you what she does and doesn't want, and you're not listening because you need to rectify what happened in the last relationship. You know what I mean? It's mad. People's brains are crazy, man. Brains are crazy.
No, but dude, you make a massive point here. I think actually a lot of people, most of the time, do tell you exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And what we do is we listen to it, we put it through a little filter machine that turns it into what we want it to be, and then we just do that, and then we question them and go, why are you doing that? And it's like, I told you I didn't want to. No, well, you didn't say that. You said, it's like, well, hang on. So that's an interesting point you made.
If you're out of it, right, you go, well, that's obvious. She just doesn't want you to stop making her fucking tea on a Thursday. Like, just have a conversation with her, eat your tea when she goes work at 6, right? It seems obvious from the outside, right?
Most
but from the inside, you've got that rejection fear. You've got this need to please, and you've got this, well, if she doesn't want to eat with me, maybe we're going to lose the contact that I want to have before work, and then maybe she'll go to work and be too tired, and when she gets home, I go to work at 6 a.m, we're going to miss each other, then we'll be passing ships, it'll end like my last relationship. Do you know what I mean? So you've got all that built up, so when you're in it, it isn't that obvious. When you're out of it, make your own spag bowl, for fuck's sake. She doesn't want it, right? But like when you're in it, you've got to navigate all these crazy things that make us human, haven't you? All of our beautiful, beautiful insecurities. They're ridiculous, aren't they, really? But we live with ourselves every day. We are the only people that will spend every second of every day with us until the day we die. So we know every horrible little thing that we do. And because of that, we wear our shame on our sleeve, not our heart, right? We wear our shame on our sleeve, and we treat people in accordance to it all the time. So, like I say, he is not thinking, I'm going to wind her up now. I'm going to make her a chicken Kiev before work when she doesn't want one, right? He's thinking, love me, say that you love me. And it's just on repeat, constantly. And I keep saying to him, mate, you don't understand how lovable you are, right? I've dealt with him for probably 20 plus years now, and I love him, right? Love him like a sibling, like an annoying fucking sibling, right? But I say to him, you don't understand how loved you are, mate, right? You've come out of this relationship and you've got all these bruises that arguably, if you were female, all your mates would have said to you, go to a therapist, mate. Please, go to a therapist, sort all those things, you know? I take the piss on an external factor, but internally, you know, when we're sat just together, you know, man to man, we'll have these conversations, and I'll say to him, you need to get a little bit of a therapist, and no, it can't be me, hun. Like, you need to get another one, because you've got all these bruises, and you weren't an awful person, and she wasn't an awful person. You just weren't the right people for each other. And you're not getting that now. You know, you've rushed. You've jumped the gun, and your new girlfriend's gorgeous, and she's lovely. And yes, she looks very, very nice on her display picture that you keep showing everybody, every opportunity you get. And I'm glad you're really proud of her, right? But you don't love you properly yet. And there's always that risk then, hurt people, right? Even if they don't mean to, even if you're only hurting her with a chicken Kiev, you know? Hurt people, don't they? Sponsor.
I'm not sure I should clip that bit. Out of context, that's wild. Even if you're hurting her with a chicken Kiev. It's like, what happened? What happened? Tell me immediately.
With the Kiev!
I literally have to. I have to clip that out of
even
context.
if you're only hurting her with a chicken Kiev.
There you go. That's right there. I'm taking that.
Do it.
So let's finish that answer to that question. How did you become Sara McCarthy? Anything more to add?
No.
Consider us informed. Next question.
Consider us informed.
Informed on who you are and how you became it. In your experience, what's the most socially acceptable lie people tell themselves that keeps them stuck, and how would you coach someone to stop protecting it?
Oh, Johnny. I just need to try harder. That'd be it. I just need to try harder, right? Sounds responsible, sounds mature, sounds committed. Total bollocks. Right? Because 9 times out of 10, you're trying harder at shit that isn't even aligned with where you're going, right? Trying harder is where people start avoiding grief, right? They avoid guilt. They avoid accountability. It protects the fantasy of whatever hypothetical land they're about to jump into, doesn't it? Trying harder, right? And it delays a lot of the identity shifts that we're meant to go through. So I coach people to examine what their effort is protecting, right? Because yes, we can try harder, but we shouldn't always try harder, should we? Like in relationships, right? It becomes like stocks and shares, right? The more you put into it, the more you want the energy back. And then if you don't get that, you're locked in then, aren't you? You're trying harder and harder and harder and harder and harder, and you're investing, you're protecting your investment effectively. So,
You
we
double
must
down.
yeah, we literally, it's like Bitcoin all over again. Like everyone's just protecting their investment. And I always have to say, what is your effort protecting? Are you protecting the relationship? Are you protecting your career identity? Are you protecting the version of yourself that you promised all these people that don't even give a fuck that you'd become? What is trying harder doing? You don't need more discipline. You need more honesty. You don't always need to try harder. Sometimes you need to try smarter. Is it even worth it? And what if it is? Why is it worth it? Right? What are you doing that makes it worth it in your head? Do you know what I mean?
You don't need more discipline. You need more honesty. What a bar.
Yeah,
Wow.
Storms, you get on me.
There you go. See, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to write
that's
that
the
down
one.
and pretend it's mine. It happened here. It's mine now. I own it.
You can have it. Don't even want it, Johnny.
So, when you talk about self-trust, what would you say to someone whose life evidence tells them that they are consistently betraying themselves?
If you don't rebuild self-trust, you're fucked. And you don't build self-trust by hating the version of you that you tolerated less. You rebuild it by becoming somebody who doesn't override their discomfort anymore. I would say you didn't betray yourself. You survived with the tools that you had, but now you've got some different ones, so do it a different way. You can only go off the information we've got, can't we? Now you're developing better tools. Let's develop better coping mechanisms too, right? And better friendship groups and better relationship patterns. Better hygiene in a lot of cases too. Do you know what I mean? Everything just wraps in. No, but it is. When you're at rock bottom.
Story there.
No, but it's true. When you're at rock bottom, you're a smelly version of yourself 9 times out of 10. Everything comes into one. When I was at rock bottom, I remember my mum saying to me, "Have you brushed your teeth?" And I'm like, "Why?" It's like, "Because your toothbrush has been there for a week now." And I was like, "Oh, shit. I don't think I have." I had to get veneers in the end because I was gammy. Do you know what I mean? But it's true. Like when you're at rock bottom, ex-mate, primo dental Chester. But yeah, when you're at rock bottom, you don't prioritise living. You prioritise surviving. And you don't have the tools to live. In fact, half the time, you don't even have the tools to survive. So we can't say that we've betrayed ourselves. We just say we survived with the tools that we had. And every boundary and every time we say no and every moment that you pause a little bit before you start chasing, that is like you rewiring your self-trust in real time, isn't it? You're doing the best you can with what you've got. And that's what we all do until we get in a box. We deep it too much. We look and we analyse each other and we analyse who's better than us and they've got more than us and they seem more healed than us. And it's all bollocks, isn't it, really? It's all bollocks.
Absolutely.
They might have more tools than you. Now, if you're admiring them instead of asking them, "Hey, you look like you've got your shit together. You've got more tools than me. Can I have some?" If they say no, they have no more tools than you. Right? The minute they deny you that help or that assistance or they put a gate in front of it, right? Or they're projecting in some way, they don't have the tools, right? Those tools, bollocks. Right?
Love it.
The minute you say, I have loads of people messaging me, "Can I just have a bit of advice?" And I'm like, "Well, I do charge my services, but what the fuck is wrong?" Right?
Now I have to know. Just curiosity.
Now you pique my interest. So they'll give me a little rundown on what's happened. I'll be like, "Right, I would advise this, 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 and this. Okay? If you cannot hold yourself accountable to doing this, 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 and this, I would advise getting me as a coach. If you can, then just fuck off and do it and come back and let me know you've done it." Right? Because when we have these tools, we are supposed to share these tools, right? You can't gatekeep happiness. That's weird, isn't it, really? Going, "I am the only one who can be this successful and happy. The rest of you, go and be depressed." Right?
If you're that happy in a room full of depressed people, then I think it might be you that's got the problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
do you know what I mean?
You're like, where's that when people go, "I made 50 grand this month off my coaching course." Tell me how many people you helped with your bullshit ChatGPT coaching course, please.
Yes.
Right? Out of those 50 grand, I would like to see the significance that it has made on those people that paid you 50 grand, okay? Because I didn't make 50 grand last month, right? But I can tell you for a fact, I've got 3 ladies, right? 2 of which hadn't gone to the hairdressers. One was in 6 years and one was in 9 years, right? She'd been cutting her hair herself, the older one, right? They couldn't go because they were gonna be honest, they were really very anxious about it because they had it all matted. There was like bits coming out. Not looking after yourself will physically have, as I say before, it makes you a smelly version of yourself, right? through the coaching, we'd incorporated little specific bits like hair oil and shit that they had to put in per night and do 10 minutes of brushing. We eventually got it all out. Both of them this month went to hairdressers.
That's
right?
amazing.
That's worth more than 50 grand, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Now they're going to change the profile picture for the first time in 6 years or 9 years. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna have walked down the street and thought, yeah, pretty woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not worth it, that, isn't it? Like,
She's warming up. She's warming up.
That's it. I'm getting there. I'm going to do it. You're waiting for this, are you? But yeah, no. You know what I mean, though? You've got to get into an industry like this because you give a shit. You have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go and work elsewhere, please. And people have got discernment now.
Facts.
People have got fucking discernment now. People can tell someone that doesn't care so obviously these days. They can tell it. Human beings have radical discernment these days because they've had years and years and years of bullshit on the internet, on the TVs. Now they've got radical discernment. So if you're in this industry, right, and you're wondering why your page blew up and then everyone fucked off, it's because they realised you were full of shit, mate, right? And if you're in this industry and you're just posting, make 10 grand in 2 days, make 9 grand in 2 days, make 6 grand in 23 seconds, right? If you come to me, I will motivate you. I will teach you to manifest your highest version of your hypothetical bullshit self, right? And you wonder why people are coming on the course and then they're fucking off. It's discernment, mate. Right? It's the fact.
And they have to use guilt to keep people on the course.
Oh yeah. Do you really want to fall back into your old ways? Do you?
Yeah.
Right.
That's something I hear all the time when I have people come to me from other places. It's hard to hear. I actually tell them not to tell me who it is. So I don't want to know.
I would.
I don't want to know. Yeah, I know.
I have a little spreadsheet. I have a little spreadsheet, right?
Spreadsheet.
Yeah. And I put an A in the boxes.
Is that the McCarthy files?
That's it, you know what I mean?
Being released.
Released April 2029. But yeah, no, genuinely, I have a little spreadsheet, right? And every time someone says that they've come from somewhere else, I write the person's name down and put a little A next to it. And it's only because then, if, for example, I see there's 100 A's in one category, right? I'm not going to out that person. I'm not a knob. But what I would do is go to them, woman to woman or woman to man or whatever you want to call it, right? And be like, look, I've had quite a lot of people come to me from your course and they're finding that this is the issue, and this is the issue. I have not generated this spreadsheet of information to ever fuck you over. I've generated it because we're in the same industry and I want to hope you're doing this for the right reasons. So here is some strategic info that you could use to better your course. How they choose to take that, up to them.
What they do with it tells you everything, though.
Exactly. If I give them that info and go, say I've had 100 people come to me from one course, right? And I go to that person and I say, hey, I've had 100 people. This was their feedback. And they go, why have you kept all that information on me? Well, because it's data, darling. And surely you're interested in your data. If I had 150 people come off my course and tell someone else I was an absolute see you next Tuesday, I want to know what I did wrong. A, so I can stop doing it. B, so I can work to improve myself. And C, because clearly what I'm saying and what I'm doing is not aligning. I would want to know that, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a case of I would never go to someone bitchy and be like, hey, your course is fucked, Never, right? I'd be like, right, look, this is the information that's coming out about it. You need to eat, I need to eat, we all need to eat. But this is what you're doing that isn't benefiting people in the way that you might think it is. I'm going to assume, I'm going to hope, I'm going to pray that you aren't preying on them and that you hope what you're doing is right. Because even when I've had previous careers that haven't been even remotely correct now in my agenda that I have now, right? Everything I believed I was doing at the time, I believed I was helping people. I believed I was healing people. I believe I loved people, right? In that real, true way. Even if it no longer aligns with me now. I know at the time I was doing it for the right reasons. No matter what version of myself I've been in the past, right? I want to hope that you have that same mentality. Because someone did come to me in a previous job that I had and said to me, okay, I've spoken to a lot of people or I've seen this or whatever. I won't give the actual situation, right? Because it was a long time ago now. And we don't think what you're doing is right. And I could have kicked off that person, but instead I held my hands. I was like, you know what? I'm actually not feeling this either. I'm not putting my 100% into it because I'm not feeling it either. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dip. At least I did. I just dipped. I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling it either. You could be fucking right. And if you are right, I ain't chancing that. So off I go. Right? And I literally rebuilt a whole business from the ground up, got more accreditations, got the rest of it. Sometimes you have to be called out.
Amazing. Great answer. At what point can self-compassion quietly turn into self-abandonment, and how can someone tell which side they're on?
Self-abandonment is the removal of accountability. Massive difference between I understand why I did that and it's fine, I will keep doing it. Right? Self-compassion is, I see why that happened. I deserve better than that for myself. Whereas self-abandonment is like, well, that's just who I am. That's just how I am. Right? Loads of people think that they're, oh, you've heard it. I tell it how it is. I tell it how it is. You've heard it, right? Yeah, every time. Right? I just damn it who I am. No, what you are.
Forget who it hurts. Just this who I am. Deal with it.
Yeah, it's who I am. But no, what you are is a non-accountable buffoon, right? You're just a very noisy bell end, darling. You're not taking anyone else into account, are you? Right? The is what it is culture, right? It just is what it is. I am who I am. Take me as I am, or watch me as I go. Bye.
You're still here.
Yeah. Go then, please. For fuck's sake, you've upset everyone, right? I think there's a difference between being a very self-confident person, right? Because confidence does come from self-compassion and accountability. You cannot be confident if you aren't sure in what you're saying. And if you're sure in what you're saying, you have taken everything into consideration before you said it, right? Everything. You have taken into account that you might upset people. But you've also then understood that if you do upset people, you know how to deal with that upset, right?
Yeah.
Like when I said before, I would go to someone and say, I've had all this feedback, like, you can change your business accordingly, right? If they said, that's just who I am, all right then, no skin off my nose, right? If they said to me, you've actually really upset me with this, right, with this data, I feel really betrayed. I'd be like, bitch, babe, I don't know you to betray you, right? Nothing I ever do will come from betrayal. I'm on the same team as you, right? You feel
That's
that.
why you're telling them.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
That's why
You're feeling that because you betrayed yourself. And all I am doing is reflecting a mirror of how you have betrayed yourself, right? As I say, fear of exposure. If your standards are shrinking in the name of anything, money, kindness, capacity, that's self-abandonment.
I think it speaks to what you said earlier as well, when you said about try harder, try harder. I don't think you can see where you're trying harder without self-compassion, because you won't be able to see it honestly, will you? You just
No, of course
won't.
not, because it's bollocks.
So-
If you're constantly trying harder, you're not being compassionate to yourself, are you? You've got to look at your own, your own, what's it, capacity.
Yeah.
And if you're over capacity, you've got to then filter out another bit of your life, haven't you? You've got to chop some off somewhere else.
Well, you have to. And that self-compassion is like sticking on a pair of glasses that enable you to see the truth. And the reason why people don't put them on is because they don't want to see the truth, because the truth comes with actions. It hurts. It makes you feel a certain way, and no one wants to feel that. As you said earlier, no one wants to go towards feeling unhappy or unkind or whatever.
No,
so
horrible.
it makes total sense. Absolute sense.
Yeah.
What emotions do you tend to avoid or dislike having the most?
Oh, disappointment.
Yeah.
Easy one. I hate being disappointed. Not in others. I can deal with being disappointed in others. In myself. Yeah. I have to frame it differently. If ever I'm disappointed in myself, I have to sort of go, no, I'm just grieving the choices I could have made, and grief means that I cared.
Have you disappointed yourself recently?
A little bit, yeah. Only because, right, I'm not even this way inclined, right, but I did disappoint myself. So I work an awful lot, right? I'm a workaholic, and I know that is my coping mechanism. I'm very aware of that. And I get addicted to shit. Like, luckily, now it's work. But at the same time, and not so luckily, it's work. So I will get a project in my head. For example, I've got my book that's coming out on the 1st of March. Written a whole book in 7 days. How does one do that, right? Yeah, mental. And that meant...
pissed all over mine. It took me 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not normal in any way, shape or form. Not very normal at all. Some would say a superhero. But yeah, in doing that, I then had very little time with my kids, right? And my little girl, she took her first little step and I didn't see her.
No, that's hard.
Yeah. I've got a video of it sent to me while I was tapping away and answering calls to people and talking to editor and all the rest of it, right? But I didn't see it. And I had to sit down with myself and go, okay, who are you doing all this for? You've got to have your balance, Sara. Otherwise, you're going to be a fucking hypocrite again, aren't you? So you need to get off the laptop, close it down, go into the front room, ignore the food on the floor because it's deal with it later, and just sit with your sprogs. And then after about 20 minutes, I thought I've had enough of this. But it was nice. No, but you know what I mean. I attached an expectation to myself, right? And sometimes we have to go, you know what, I am not disappointed. I'm grieving the choices that I could have made. And now whatever expectation I had of myself, I have to release it because it's not healthy. You know, the expectation of I can write this book in the quickest time possible. I'm not winning no awards for that. Do you know what I mean? But my little boy, well, he makes me a Valentine's card day every year. Yeah, a Valentine's card every year. Do you know what I mean? And my little girl, one of the only words she can say is mummy. So,
Oh,
like, that's, you
yeah.
got to look at those trophies, haven't you? And that's there. That's the
Yeah.
last time I felt disappointed in myself. You look, I didn't cry then because I am on my Pez.
Well, I can totally resonate with that. That it was that type of reason why I went sober, because I remember promising my kids I was going to go to a kids party. I drunk until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Woke up the next day and just told them I wasn't going to go. And I could hear them crying. I could hear my wife making excuses while they got in the car. I watched them drive away. I just wanted to die. I was like, I hate myself so much.
Yeah.
I hate myself so much. And I just lied in bed, just feeling a certain kind of way. And that was the day I rang a therapist and said, I need help.
Yeah.
And,
The therapist,
you
I
know,
fucked it. Yeah.
yeah, and that's it. That right there, that rock bottom moment, you have to own it before you can do
Yeah.
anything about it. You just have to. And you don't want to, and I get why. It's burning hot, and you just think, it's going to burn me, but you're going to learn something from that. So I totally get it. And I think it makes us better parents ultimately, because I don't miss a rugby game anymore. I don't miss anything, that's not true. I do miss some stuff if I have to, but I try my hardest not to. What's interesting is that when an opportunity comes up, and it's a big opportunity, I have to play this little game with myself where I let myself believe I'm going to go and do it.
Yeah.
And then about an hour or so later, reality drops in and I go, you're not going. You're not going. You know how important it is to them. Just no, tell them no. But I have to almost honor the emotion of it first.
Yeah.
Go through a little silly routine and then drop in and go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just doing that thing again. It's fine. Let's just pull out. And it's fine.
We're all just kids.
Yeah, true. So true. Me and my wife say I did not sign up for adulting.
No,
Don't remember
we're all
it.
kids. Like, when people are like, oh, well, who's the most qualified? Who's this? Who's that? Oh, you've been through addiction. That doesn't make you a better parent. It means you fucked up beforehand. All this sort of stuff, right? There's all this, right? We're just kids, right? The core
Give
of us.
kids too much sweets, they'll eat all the sweets.
Most of adulthood is literally trying to feel safe. Right? It is. It's mad, isn't it? Right?
Mate, absolute truth. Yeah.
The child is the first philosopher, right? Before we learn strategy, we learn questions, right? Literally, right? And then, am I safe? Am I wanted? Right? Those questions don't disappear when you stop needing your mum to put breastfed. Do you know what I mean? It just becomes like, did they text back? Why didn't I get promoted? Right? Why do I need reassurance? The adult scenario changes, but the kid underneath, well, they're still asking the same things. Do you know what I mean? Right? When adults get jealous, okay, well, that's you questioning as a child, are you replaceable? Right? When adults face avoidance, okay, well, if I don't need you, you can't leave me. Do you know what I mean? Like, overachieving is just, I want to make them proud. I want a sticker. I want a ticket. I want this. I want that. Right? Philosophically speaking, adulthood is in no way, shape, or form a departure from childhood at all. We're all just kids.
Yeah, when you're 17 and then you turn 18 in literally a second, you become an adult. Everyone is that.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know it all. You've read the
crazy.
manual of the lot. Yeah.
It's crazy. One day people just go, well, why should I look up to you? You shouldn't.
That's it.
Don't.
Mate, it's so much pressure. I see some people in the world, they want to be worshipped. They want to be a guru. Oh. They want to stand there with all of that. And I just think to myself, how much pressure is that?
Why do you want that? That is the ultimate need to be needed, you massive hypocrite.
So when I was a PT, I was walking around a supermarket and one of my clients came around the corner and I had pizza and beer in my trolley. And they went, oh my God. And I went, what? And they went, do you drink alcohol and eat pizza? And I'm like, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. I just get plugged in. It's just like, and then I realized, because I'm a bit insecure, I'm letting these people stroke my ego and I'm buying into it more and more and more, allowing them to think that I'm perfect when I'm not, because perfection is impossible. I need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
So
cognitive dissonance, Johnny, because you've got perfect Johnny on the internet and Johnny that's a twat in the back room. Right?
Now it's the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It creates cognitive dissonance, and then you're constantly fighting between these two versions of yourself, and they never fucking meet. Right? So they're two strangers existed in the same body. It's like, it's Patricia. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. Like, when you look at these people online, they've got this fucking God complex, right? And they want to be worshipped, right? It's terrifying because worship distorts reality in a lot of ways, right? It can be unhealthy. Like, don't get me wrong, there's lots of healthy forms of, like, sub-worship. right? For example, I'm a Christian and I follow rules that I think make me a better person. There are also some rules that I think, well, that's been added, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? You've got to have that level of awareness with anything you do so it doesn't become dangerous, right? But worship creates projection, okay? And then if you are wanting people to worship you, instead of them seeing you clearly, they look at what you represent in their life, okay? What they hope you are to make them feel better. And then what they want you to outsource to them, right? You become a commodity of worship, okay? And you don't want to be someone's regulator, right? If someone idolizes you, you become their regulator. You are their certainty source, right? And although that can feel really good for the ego, it is unstable. You want to be the most honest and authentic version of yourself because some people are still not going to fucking like you, but it won't matter anyway. Because, at least they're not going, well, you've got something I don't and I want to take it. They're going, I don't like you. And then you'll go, well, that's absolutely fine.
That's okay. Yeah.
Off
That's
you
why
go.
the counsel culture, you can't counsel someone who's genuine and authentic, because if I make a mistake, I'll just say, I've made a mistake. I'm sorry. Like,
I say that all the time. You can't cancel me.
what more do you want me to do?
You can't cancel me. I didn't even mean to be here. Like, go ahead. I say it all the time. Like, the only person that digs on me is me. Like, if you can't cancel me on anything I've done in the past because I've already said it, mate. Go on. Someone who becomes overly attached to your validation interrupts your internal authority. So you become a source of their power and therefore a mirror of their insecurities.
Mate, this has been just amazing. I've loved spending this time with you. I've loved talking to you. I love the way you put things across. You're everything I thought you'd be, man. I was worried that I was going to get some different version, but you are literally the most authentic person I think I've met in a very long time. You are. You are. Last question. Is there anything that you'd like to pass on to people that can help with their self-development?
Oh, so much. So much would I like to pass on.
One thing. One, maybe two.
One thing. Okay, one thing. I've got to think. What would you like me to base it on? What do you think?
An everyday thing. What would you say to the person that is feeling really stuck in life, maybe quite bored? They're starting to wreck their life by making really terrible decisions because they're just trying to feel something. What would you say to that person?
You are not as fucked as you think you are. You are not even behind. Your sense of direction is purely based on your level of insecurity right now. You are wearing your shame on your sleeve and you are treating everything in accordance to it, including yourself. Stop trying to get the promotion. Get your self-care sorted. Stop trying to get the bird back. Go and find you again. Stop trying to case people to help you. They're not going to help you. Okay, 90% of people are not going to help you. There's not because they don't want to, but because they don't have the capacity to, and they're not admitting that they don't have the capacity to. So instead, they'll project on you and say you can only help yourself when they're at capacity too. 99.9% of people in this world are fucked in some way, shape, or form, but they are nowhere near as fucked as they think they are. You are not weak for needing repetition. You are not dramatic for wanting consistency, but you feel stuck because you lack strength, and you lack strength because you lack awareness. And that's the bottom line. Stop projecting onto yourself and stop projecting onto others. You are in no way, shape or form a projection. You are a real, true human being. And when you realise that you're a human being, you're going to make human mistakes. No one gives a fuck, I promise you. Nobody gives a fuck what you did. Nobody gives a fuck what you're going to do. You give the biggest fuck in the world. So fuck it all.
Might be the best answer I've ever had.
It will be.
Well done. Love that. Yeah. How can people find you? And is there anything that you're doing right now, your book, that you would like to direct people to?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. I am now on TikTok. So it is Coached by Saz. On Facebook, it's Coached by Saz or Sara McCarthy, which is the name my mother gave me. My book is coming out on the 1st of March. That is called How to Get Your Shit Together, a Scientific Perspective. It's absolutely brilliant. There's loads of stories in it about how I got my shit together. As you can imagine, they're wonderful tales. I would say the book is not PG. Do not buy it for your kids as a bedtime story. And also do not buy it for anybody that you actually like. But, no, if you think someone in your life right now needs to kick up the arse, get them this book. If they're easily offended, leave it on the shelf. Go and get another one, okay? There's lots of books. Leave that one there. I also have a show coming out tomorrow, which won't be tomorrow by the time you post this. But yeah, it's called Crying in the DMs. It's a podcast where I get crazy guests on and we go through their life stories. None of them are celebrities, don't worry. They're all normal people with normal jobs that went through some abnormal shit. And we talk and we chat, and then we read some direct messages out that I've been sent, that people have sent in about their crazy stories. And we all just bond over the fact that life is fucked up. And it's brilliant. And I think we're just embracing how messed up life is, enjoying it, and then just bringing a little bit of light to people. And that's really what the book is as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just, look how fucked this was, and now it's not as fucked. Wouldn't you like to feel that way? That's all it is. You know, I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not saying I am the pinnacle of humanity. I'm not saying I'm a role model. You know, I'm more of a sausage roll, mate. But what I am saying is, you know, if you want a clear example of someone that was absolutely buggered, should never have gotten to this position and managed it, then yeah, give the book a read, give the podcast a watch, give the page a follow, because you might be inspired by some stuff, or you might just have a giggle one day when you feel down. And I think both of those things, they're just as good, aren't they? You don't always need to inspire people. Sometimes you just need to be that little dickhead that brings the dopamine.
You're amazing. You really are. You're just brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today, man. I really appreciate it. I've had a great time, and thank you. Thank you for listening to the Johnny Lawrence podcast, and I'll see you next week for another episode. Take care.